AI acceleration is moving fast, faster than ever before. And that means that we're about to enter a completely new world. This is a world where we could potentially have mass unemployment and AI automating hundreds of millions of jobs. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the insane recent developments in the AI world and what this means for you. If you want to be prepared for the new AI future, I highly recommend you stay tuned and watch this video to the end. Let's jump right in. So there was an article that came out over the weekend from Citron 7. This is an investment research company, and they basically painted the picture of what the world is going to look like in 2 years. Stock market is down 40%, unemployment is over 10%, people are losing their homes, and it paints a pretty grim picture. So here's the article. I'm going to link to this in the description so you can check it out. And it basically talks about the consequences of abundant intelligence, right? A world where AI is cheap and abundant and everyone has access to these supercomputers. And essentially what's happening right now is that the AI is self-improving. So ChatGPT is writing the code to make ChatGPT better. So essentially you have a snowball right now where these AI systems are basically improving themselves exponentially very, very quickly, right? And that's happening right now within companies like Anthropic. So the company that produces Claude, Opus, Sonnet. And these are the best coding models right now. And they're actually really good at a bunch of other things, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and how much they're disrupting all these other industries. And so the article sort of talks about and frames the time period of just 2 years from now, which isn't that far away, and how quickly things are going to change, right? So it talks about the improvement of AI agents. It talks about how AI agents are essentially going to become self-improving and just become more efficient. And those are going to take over a ton of different jobs. I'm seeing that already. I'm actually helping people create AI agents to make their companies more efficient. So if that's something you're interested in, if you are a company that's looking to improve through AI agents, I'll put a link in the comments, and I'm also going to put a link in the description if you want to contact me and you need some help implementing AI with your business. But they talk about a few different things. They talk about something about payment rails, and this is actually really, really interesting because right now the way it works is if I use a credit card, there's a merchant fee of 2.5%. The bank will take a 1.7 to 2% reward and interest on that payment, right? And then the merchant will receive about 97.50, right? So you go through this loop, right, where the customer pays $100 and the actual merchant only gets 97.50, and all these middlemen kind of come in the middle here, right? But we're in a world where it doesn't really have to work like this. So you can see here essentially a $100 purchase from a customer, and the merchant receives 99.99 instead of 97.50, with only 1 cent being lost here. And this is going through essentially a crypto network, right? USDC on Solana. And so we're already seeing that these AI agents are using crypto to transact money. There's a ton of examples of that. They're even hiring people to actually go out and do work for them that they can't do as AI agents, and they're paying them with crypto. So why would we use these banks and use these credit card fees that basically screw the merchant out of a lot of money when you add this up, when you could just use something like USDC on Solana, right? And so this has been hard to adopt in the real world, but these AI agents don't care about using credit cards. They don't have access to bank accounts. So they're going to naturally move to these types of transactions, right? And it's going to happen pretty quickly as these AI agents take over a lot of different jobs. And so what's going to happen is companies like MasterCard, like Visa, are going to end up losing a lot of money. This is Visa, MasterCard, American Express, down today 3.4%, 3.9%, and 8%, right? This happened the day after this article came out. So I don't know if it's sort of a reaction to the article. I'm going to get into some more crazy things that happened after this article came out. But you can see that this is one thing that's going to get disrupted really, really quickly. They talk about the AI agent capability scaling, essentially how these agents are just getting better and better and better, doing work more efficiently, and able to get more efficiency out of these agents. And they talk about the sort of traditional cyclical recession, and then the recession driven by AI, right? So new construction leads to overbuilding, leads to a construction slowdown, leads to lower rates and restocking, and then it sort of loops itself, right? Now, this is a normal economy. This is how a normal recession would work. But in an AI recession, where it's completely disrupted by AI, Essentially, the way it works is companies invest into AI to protect margins. AI investment increases and capability improves. Companies need fewer workers. White collar layoffs increase. There's going to be more displaced workers. They're going to spend less money, and then the market's going to weaken, right? And this is going to be a feedback loop. And then there's no natural break to this, which is sort of the crazy thing, right? These AIs are going to become more efficient. There's going to be more white collar layoffs, and then that's going to bleed into blue collar. And there's going to be a ton of different layoffs in basically almost every industry. And then this is just going to keep going and going very, very quickly. And there will be no stoppage to this, right? Which could lead to some pretty crazy things in the economy. You can see here the displacement starting with white collar, right? High skilled, high wage people. You have mass layoffs, labor flooding. We're going in basically an unemployment state. And then these people who are unemployed will go into like gig economies, right? Uber Eats, driving Uber, all that kind of stuff, right? Delivering for Amazon, things like that. And then the average hourly wage as a result, as so many people flood into this gig economy, is that there's going to be a lower hourly wage. There's going to be too many people that want these type of jobs, and then the hourly wage is going to come down. So you can see that they're projecting here, these mass unemployments, huge amounts of unemployment, S&P dropping 6% in a week, sort of this crazy, cascading that could happen here, right? Now, the other really interesting thing they go into is mortgages, and how essentially what could happen is people can't pay their mortgages if they can't work, right? Nobody owns their home outright, or at least very few people own their home cash. They all have mortgages on their homes, right? They all pay money to stay in their homes, right? And as people are losing their jobs, they're not going to be able to pay their homes. They're going to lose their homes. And so essentially, we could turn into a new 2008 crisis, right? Where we had the great financial crisis and tons of people lost their homes. And so the 2008 crisis started with bad loans, right? They were sort of lending to anybody, subprime, that whole thing, right? Rate reset, payments spike, people can't pay, homes are worth less, everything goes to foreclosure. Now, this is kind of crazy because they're talking about in this new AI displacement crisis, it's not because of bad loans. These are good loans with real income, real people, right? These are good loans, right? Good borrowers. But the problem is the income is permanently impaired by AI displacement. So it's not that the loans were bad and these people should never have gotten loans to begin with. The loans were good. The people had good jobs. But the problem is the AI came and disrupted everything. And these people now can't pay their mortgage, right? And they end up in a really bad place, and they lose their homes from this AI displacement, right? Really, really scary if you think about it. They're saying it's going to be concentrated in like San Francisco, New York City, sort of like the big tech hubs and finance hubs, which makes sense. But I could see that bleeding out into a lot of different areas, right? So they go over this, right? AI gets better, companies need fewer workers, workers spend less, economy weakens, companies invest more in AI, right? And then this goes into mortgage concerns, workers earn less, mortgages get impaired, financial system tightens, asset prices fall, confidence collapses, spending drops further, more layoffs, more mortgage impairment. And it's a pretty ugly cycle if you think about it. So it's a pretty grim picture they paint. Again, I am going to link to this article. Really, really fascinating. But this is from almost 3 years ago now. This is from Zero Hedge on X here. This is from March 28th, 2023. And he goes over some of the industries that are most exposed to AI. So office and administrative support, legal, architecture and engineering, social sciences, business and financial operations, community and social service, management, sales related, computer and mathematical, right? Computer engineering, obviously. And you can see just how high of a percentage these industries are at risk, right? And they're estimating 300 million layoffs that could happen here. It's pretty scary to think about. And I just don't think people are ready for this. I think that this is happening a lot of times behind the scenes for people. People just don't understand just how quickly these AIs are evolving. And this is going to take a lot of people by surprise, which is a scary thought for me. You can see here that this is already starting to happen, right? 42% of recent college graduates are underemployed. That's the highest level since 2020, which was COVID. So the COVID shutdown obviously was an unnatural recession, right? The economy was shut down. But in that time, we had a lot of people that weren't able to get work, and we're getting to those levels right now for recent college grads. And this is happening right now. This isn't projected for the future. This isn't a projection. This is right now, 42% of recent college grads. And so what's happening also is that these AIs are basically taking out industry by industry, right? Obviously, you're going to start with tech. So Anthropic came out and they released this new Claude Code security. I'll show you real quick what that looks like. But essentially, they are using their own Claude Code to create a security system that does automated security stuff for companies, right? So basically, if you don't want your website hacked, if you want to keep your tech stuff secure, you need to hire companies like CrowdStrike, and these other huge companies to do this vulnerability scanning for you, right? I'm not going to get into the details, but it's sort of security work in the AI industry, or in the tech industry, I should say. And so they released this. It got 25 million views, right? This was on Friday, 25 million views. And right after they released this, the next day, all of these huge companies, right? CrowdStrike, Cloudflare, Palo Alto, Infosystems, Zscaler crashed tremendously. CrowdStrike down 20%, wiping out 20 billion. Palo Alto Networks down 9%. Cloudflare down 18.5%. Zscaler down 17.3%. Infosys down 3.4%. OKTA down 16.7%. These are massive companies dropping huge amounts of money. This is not a small deal. This is a big deal. And it's not just info security. It's other industries as well. So today, Claude announces that Claude can now streamline COBOL code. It's this super old code that's been around forever. It works in financial institutions. I've had to use it. It's a complete nightmare. And they just casually mentioned today that they can streamline COBOL code. This is a huge part of IBM's business, one of the biggest companies in the world. And IBM, one of the biggest companies in the world, dropped 13% in one day from this announcement. 13% in one day from an announcement from Claude today. So Claude is obviously leading the way here with these huge disruptions. But I mean, this is big deal. And this is happening right now. This isn't happening in the future. This is happening right now. 800 billion erased from the market today. You can see hardware people like NVIDIA, Apple are doing well. It's really the software players that are getting crushed here, right? Software stocks are just getting absolutely crushed. Oracle's another stock that's down like 60%. It's just crazy. This is happening really fast. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is that companies that outsource to India, right? That they outsource like tech work to India, they're getting absolutely crushed right now because instead of outsourcing to India, people are just using things like Claude Opus to do the work for them. So the idea here, and this is again coming back to that Citron 7 article, is that the entire value model of sending work offshore to India is that Indian developers cost a fraction of their American counterparts. They usually provide work that's just as good, if not better sometimes, and they can outsource this work for a fraction of the price, right? Why would you outsource to India when you could just outsource to Claude, to AI, right? And get it done for a fraction of that price. So this would have massive implications, not just for software stocks, but also for entire economies like the Indian economy that's has a lot of it based on this outsourcing model, right? This intelligence in India, right? These intelligent people that work for a much lower wage than they do in like the US or Europe, that's going to be hugely disrupted as well. So you can see here, Waller is talking about a weak labor market that he thinks is going to continue. CEOs are going to see significant job cuts coming from AI. That's already happening. We have Panasonic about to lay off 12,000 employees here. This is accelerating, and it's accelerating fast, and people really need to buckle up for this. It's even affecting something like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, if you don't know how this works, you need to have these big like hardware centers running on power to produce Bitcoin, right? To mine Bitcoin. Now that goes directly in contrast to AI because AI requires power and it requires hardware. So you need to have these big data centers to run the AI. You need a ton of power to actually power that AI, right? To get it self-improving and to run these incredible AI models. So Bitcoin is directly in contrast with that because Bitcoin needs the same power and it needs very similar hardware. So a lot of people are pivoting away from Bitcoin and just using that same power to power AI. So it's affecting things like Bitcoin as well. So almost nothing is going to be spared if it's not like land and gold and things like that. I mean, you really have to start thinking in those terms in the very near future here because this is the new world that we're entering. So that's it for this video. I really want to hear what you have to say about this. I kind of wanted to bring this as a warning to people. And I really think that if you want to think ahead, if you want to be prepared for this, think about industries that AI cannot touch right now, right? What does not rely on super intelligence, right? So obviously, anyone who's working in front of a screen is going to be affected first. My work, where I work in front of a screen, is affected first. That's why I'm pivoting to a lot of content that I'm doing now. I'm still growing my business. Like I said, I'm doing AI agents as well. It's actually become a very big part of my business. I'm doing a ton of work in that. But I think it's important for people to realize if you work in front of a screen, your work is in direct risk right now. Like you might not have the job you think you have in like 12 months. I mean, it's happening very, very quickly. So think about in terms of pivoting away from on-screen work, anything you can use with your hands, anything you can do person to person, physical touch, right? If that's, being a doctor, massage therapist, physical therapy. I mean, you have to think in terms of what cannot be done in front of a screen, what can AI not touch, right? Low skilled labor is probably going to be affected by humanoid robots in the near future too, not to scare more people, but that's also coming very soon. So I think it's important to think about those terms. And I think if you want to think about your investments, think about hardware, think about power, think about physical things like commodities, like obviously, precious metals, food supplies, things like that. Think about things that won't be affected by this technology revolution. And I really want to hear what you have to say. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this future that we're heading into. Let me know what you think about what's happening right now. And I know this is probably a little scary, but if you want to stay up to date on the AI world, definitely subscribe to this channel as well. That will make sure that you're on top of everything that's happening in the world of AI and you don't get left behind. Also, give this video a like if you can. It really does help my channel out a lot.